After staying in Baghdad for 5 days, I left my host family and I headed to the north to see how wars destroyed the city's prosperity and its people's life. I decided to go to the second largest city in Iraq, Mosul. From Baghdad to Mosul, I took a shared taxi which costed me around 35,000 dinars, which is 24 US dollars. Mosul is a lovely city. It is lovely because I found people there are super kind and friendly. They always smile when looking at me. They were greeting to me while I was walking on the street as well.
Thank you.
However, the city is super sad as well. Mosul was occupied by ISIS from 2014 to 2017. During that period of time, many homosexual people were killed, numerous women were raped, and countless citizens were kidnapped. Here, I think it might be the best place for me to experience the history of wars and to see what America and ISIS did in Iraq. You can see there were shops here in this area before. Even today, you can see how wars damaged the city from everywhere. And most of those buildings, especially in the old city, I was shocked when I walked into those narrow, small streets. Buildings were bombed. There are signs left by ISIS on buildings. Bullet marks are on the wall. And inside of some buildings, there are terrible smells. While exploring the old town, every time when the locals saw me, they started to share the story of the town as well as their own stories with me. I still remember a guy who said that 9 members of his family were killed by ISIS. I couldn't know how I should describe that feeling. All I can say just, I was sad. A similar thing also happened when I took a taxi in Mosul as well. Taxi drivers also talked about their stories during the war to me. I guess maybe everyone in Mosul desires people living outside of Iraq to understand what they had been experiencing in the past years and how terrible the war was. You see there's a pillow and a blanket here, and this was the place where ISIS soldiers shooting people. And you can see the hole on the wall, they used that place to shoot people. In Mosul, I found people are different from those in Baghdad. People there are more curious about the reason why I traveled there. And many people do not really understand what exactly I want to see in Mosul. For many of them, Mosul is a city of nothing, only with the terrible infrastructures, dirty roads, annoying noise from the morning till night. On the other hand, the city today is changing gradually. The bombed old town is under reconstruction. UNESCO is working on a lot of invaluable ancient churches and mosques. Also, there is also a place where local people are encouraged to be more independent, the station. The station is one of the Iraqi leading co-working spaces which was established in 2018 as a non-governmental organization. Its aim is to help the more creative Iraqi young generation to start their own business or work projects. There are also open spaces for the whole public freely to engage in study, as well as different programs for people to learn new skills.
We do give music classes here. Oud, first, especially oud. I don't know if you've heard about oud or not, but it's an instrumental that is well known in Arabic culture, which is just like kind of look like guitar, but in different tone. We also have the first of its kind gallery music, which is for artists to have art galleries, just like those right here. Local NGOs and companies that is working.
I really wish I could see a different Mosul next time when I visit here. After staying in Mosul for 2 days, I moved to my final destination, Erbil, which is Kurdistan. This is their local chewing gum. It's really good for health and good for stomach. But it smells really good, but it tastes not really good. I'd like to say that Kurdistan is another world. People speak a different language there. The streets are super clean. Many huge shopping malls are there. A larger number of Western travelers there. This building is gonna soon be the tallest building in Iraq in the future. And also, most importantly, the nature. I spent 10 days in Iraq in total. It was my first time doing couch surfing. And I was meeting different new people every day. Everyone I met also introduced their friends to me, and I must say that I had a great time every day in Iraq. From the ancient city Babylon to Samarra, I saw the richness of history on this piece of land. From Baghdad to Haditha, I saw the Iraq that I was expecting. Palm trees, rivers, and desert. In Mosul, I had an unforgettable experience about life after the war. In Erbil, I saw two different sides of Iraq. Maybe the majority of people still have a stereotype of Iraq, thinking that it is a country of ISIS, wars, and poverty. Most people I know also consider Iraq in this way. If I search Iraq on Google in Japanese, all images I can receive are all about ISIS and wars. Well, this is the power of media. I still remember that when I called the Iraqi embassy in Japan to ask them about my arrival visa, they warned me and told me not to go to Iraq as on the website of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs Overseas Travel Safety Information, Iraq is marked as level 4, which means evacuate and avoid all travel. It says, all Japanese nationals are urged to evacuate immediately from the country or the area and urged to avoid all travel regardless of purposes. This level of danger is exactly the same as the current Afghanistan, Syria, Ukraine, as well as other countries under the war. From many people's perspectives, maybe traveling to Iraq is a weird thing. Even many Iraqi people, many of them cannot really understand me as well. One of the most frequent questions they asked was that, why do you travel to Iraq? What brought you to Iraq? Well, this seems to be a very simple question, but it is really hard for me to answer. I did not already plan my trip to Iraq, and I just booked my flight from London to Baghdad 1 month before going there. And every part of my trip to Iraq was so random. But it was a successful journey. Back to the topic, why did I choose Iraq to travel to? Maybe, having traveled to more than 80 countries, I just wanted to visit somewhere special and see something differently. Maybe, because I expected to be one of the first Japanese to visit Iraq after the war. I don't really have a clear answer. All I can say is that I wanted to learn something from people I've never met before. I'm from a well-developed country. I have a passport with which I didn't need a visa to go to America. Also, I'm not traveling for taking videos. But still, I chose this special country because I considered the people there my teacher who can teach me something new. I consider people I met on the road the most important part of all my trips, and I cherish all those moments. That is why I don't regret if I need to apply for the US visa in the future just because I've visited Iraq. And the reason why I made this video is also because I would like more people to know a real Iraq. A real Iraq without war, without ISIS, with only talented people and generous Arab people. Never forget that I was stuck on the street for more than 3 hours for taking photos with the locals in Baghdad. I will never forget that I was on a police motorbike and he took me to visit around the city. I will never forget that the numerous people, taxi drivers, and even soldiers at the checkpoints gave me water and cigarette for free, although I don't smoke. I will never forget that a shopping mall manager came to welcome me to visit the mall in person. I will never forget my great time with numerous university students in both Baghdad and Mosul. I will never forget my first time fasting and experiencing Ramadan as well. I'm so hungry. I will never forget how many people asked me to hang out or meet up there. I will never forget how many gifts I received from the locals.
شكرا شكرا. This is a gift.
Shukran.
This is a gift. It's handmade.
Oh my god.
It's a mussel.
Thank you so much.
شكرا شكرا جزيلا.
I will never forget I got a gift, which was a box of local sweets from an old lady. When she gave it to me, she told me that it's a gift from the Iraqi people. Iraqi people, these two words made my heart super warm. And that is the warmth I've never experienced in other countries. These 10 days, me and local people, we were dancing on the boat. We were chatting about life with a cup of tea. We were joking on the shared taxi. we were struggling to communicate by using Google Translate. We were smoking shisha at night in the cafe. We were watching a football match. This was my trip to Iraq. Iraq, this is such a normal country, just like other countries in the world. It has luxurious shopping malls. It has wonderful coffee shops, numerous expensive restaurants. People watch Japanese animes, listen to K-pop music. They are super lovely. They are very simple. They are super polite. Thank you so much. The only thing that has made Iraq different from other countries maybe is hospitality and generosity. They are really the best people I've ever met. And I wish one day people outside of Iraq will have a different reaction when they hear someone would like to go to Iraq. I hope people would understand more about this country. This is a country full of potentiality. In the near future, when people hear about Iraq, I wish I wouldn't hear any of those negative stereotypes of Iraq.
We have many ancient places that you can visit. We love life, we love the peace, and that's it. The era of ISIS it's closed and it's end.
An Iraqi told me that no one has experienced wars as Iraqis. This is really true. Iraq is a country that really experienced too many wars. However, all I can see today are those strong, talented, positive, and generous people. I believe that wars did not really destroy Iraq. It conversely made the Iraqi people more unified together to fight for a better future with passion and hope.
Welcome to Iraq! Ni hao, ni hao! Konnichiwa! Konnichiwa!
I met someone who told me that when you think of Iraq, you probably think about wars or ISIS. But for me, every time I think of Iraq, I think about palm trees and rivers. I love this sentence because from now on, I can tell the others my Iraq is all about palm trees, rivers, and nice people as well. Such a wonderful place.